Alright, so it is 2020 and Battlefield 1 was on Origin for $5, so what I wanted to do is, this is the first time I've ever played Battlefield 1. This is an historical area that I'm generally interested in, but I kind of wanted to play through the introductions for each of the campaigns and just look at the historical accuracies in terms of like weapons, like the environment, and like what people are doing and how people are behaving. This is a first-person shooter game. It takes place in the First World War. So I don't know how the whole trench warfare thing's going to work out, the introduction of tanks, airplanes, but I played through the first, mission or whatever you call it, and it looks like there's all kinds of different settings in terms of like where you are in the actual Great War, which is kind of cool. Let's go ahead and let's do Storm of Steel first. And kind of what I'm looking through is like how realistic are the weapons, what seems kind of out of place. Let's do normal for this, and then let's go to the first. Alright, so I'm actually doing the runner instead of Storm of Steel because I did Storm of Steel, I did a run through of it, but I figured I actually went back and watched it and the audio was all mixed up, so... And that was kind of the introduction I was referring to. I didn't know it was called Storm of Steel, so we're going to go ahead and just do the runner with Australia and Gallipoli. And we'll see, I'm interested to see, how the Enfield's going to work as, one of my favorite rifles to actually shoot. And so, looks like we're interestingly, really close here to the Dardanelles. Right up to the shoreline. I don't know if this is actually how it was, but let's take a look anyway. So we're spotting for artillery strikes.
Send these coordinates.
So I think you start out as kind of like this eager Australian kid who wants to get in the fight, and then you have this old breed sort of commander who's kind of is your father figure who's you're too young or you're too naive to understand what's going on, but you're a runner for now. You're not an actual full line infantryman.
Whoa, where do you think?
And here we go. This is the cutscene here. Kind of doesn't even know how to use his rifle properly. So.
Only after I fire the signal flare. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And he's the Australian commander. Has a cape. Okay, so this is really interesting. We have a #1 Mark III here, and it's got a really weird sight system. It's like a early red dot system in 1915, which is very, very Call of Duty, Battlefield 1 sort of stuff. Trying to mix a little bit of modern warfare with some good old World War I action, right? So automatically you're thrown into the battle after this quick barrage or whatever. You land on the beach, you're running up. Let's see how far I can survive. And my sidearm, I have a trench gun instead of my Webley. So, here we go. New objective. So we're running up the hill. And I guess we're trying to secure the trenches is just my general overall objective for this. So, here we are. So it looks like I went right away. It's just kind of the AI is, let's see if we can't pick up another weapon here. Okay, so 96 carbine. Weirdly, I've shot a C96 before, and I've never seen wood on the front. This is maybe an artillery version of it. Okay, Model 10A factory. I want to pick up this Mauser here. I don't know if I can. It won't let me. I really want to shoot that Mauser and see what how the Mauser works in this game. We can stick with our #1 Mark III right here. Let's go down here. Oh, this, I guess this is when I'm supposed to break out the, close quarters, sort of, the C96 pistol shoots like a semi-automatic. Oh, and we are dead. Frederick Bishop Oh, so you're the commander, I think. You're like, looks like you're the older guy, because you're like 60. Let's try that again. All right, secure the trenches. So we're here. Let's move up a little bit. Oh, and here's the. Yeah, so in this game, it doesn't. It looks like you have the bolt-action rifles, but they're definitely not for close quarters combat. So you have this trench gun, which is going to be your primary arm as you're going up this hillside. Okay, so you can get a Gewehr 98. I guess I'll ditch this for the trench gun, considering I don't think any Australian or Anzac forces would have had access to a shotgun on the hills of Gallipoli against these like Turkish troops here. Oh! Because he's trying to melee me, and he's running down the hill. Let's see if we can't get him. Oh. Again, this is Battlefield 1 in the year 2020. I've maybe before this had like 5 minutes of experience playing Battlefield. Or playing Battlefield 1. Oh, looks like a machine gun entrenchment. Do I have grenades? I guess grenade. G is the universal grenade throwing key. Oh, taking a lot of damage. Oh, did it work? Might have worked. Oh, and he dropped. Oh shit. Oh no, we're good. I thought I threw a grenade or something, but it's like a stripper clip, I guess? Is that what that is? I haven't seen anyone use stripper clips in this game yet, so let me just like go through this. Oh, if I can kind of get out of the way of this. Yeah, it's not even using a stripper clip. He's just like individually feeding the rounds into the fixed magazine. But let's see if we can't get up there and take that machine gun placement. Oh. Capture the Hells. Oh, the Hells Overlook. Alright, so we have a box here. Let's see a weapons crate. Let's see what we got. Oh, a rifle grenade. Definitely not historically accurate, but again, you have to kind of make some concessions for the game, considering it has to kind of have the modern warfare like gameplay mixed with like the historical setting of the First World War. So let's we're capturing A. Let's go ahead and lob a grenade up there. Whoop! And oh, I lobbed a lot of grenades up there. Oh, and he's still alive. And with our red dotted sight, Lee Enfield #1 Mark III, we got the Johnny Turk. And let's go up here. See if there's like any. Got to return to the combat area. Don't want to go too far into Turkey. Open crates. Oh, looks like you get like a lot of the Call of Duty games. I keep calling this Call of Duty, but it's Battlefield 1. You find like field manuals. I know in like World at War you got like the buried. You could find those like buried soldiers or like I don't know what they were called, but they were like special markers. Oop, another weapons crate. Let's see what we got in this one. Okay, so this is the MP18 experimental. 100% would not have seen. Oh, I want my Enfield back. I trust that better than my Turkish Mauser, but I'm not even sure who's shooting at me. Oh, how do I get down? Here we go. Definitely want my Enfield back. My red dot, Lee Enfield. And then an MP18 definitely would not have seen these anywhere close to be used by Turkish forces during the Dardanelles campaign. But again, this is one of those areas where you have to compromise, historical accuracy for like gameplay, like ease of access. So, no idea what's going on right now or like who's hitting me, but we have a.
Push towards that overlook.
Okay, so here we are. Oh. Okay, so it looks like we're taking the hill up there. Oh, and it looks like I'm about to. Oh, so I'm dead. Well, anyway, that's kind of a first look at me playing Battlefield 1, and kind of getting a feel for like the environment, the weapons, like how everything works, and definitely a cool experience. Leanne Field with the red dotted sight was certainly an interesting experience. But what I'll do is I'm going to try out another one and in a little bit and see how it works with like tanks and the airplanes. And it looks like there was like a like Lawrence of Arabia sort of timeline in there, plus like a Harlem Hellfighters sort of campaign or mission. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed kind of a first look at playing Battlefield 1 in 2020. But an interesting game. I haven't done any of the online stuff. I don't know if there are online players for Battlefield 1, but anyway. Oh, and we'll shoot one more turret here, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, maybe two. All right, cool. Well, I'll leave you guys with that. But that was kind of a first look at playing Battlefield 1. All right, so we're on to our second try at Battlefield 1, and we're doing like some Italian. We're doing like the Italian, Austro-Hungarian front in like the northeastern mountains of Italy, and you're like part of some like special forces unit, and you're wearing some like ultra mecha like power armor, like futuristic sort of stuff. Again, another aspect of the game where it's like, yeah, it's not really realistic, and I don't think this would be like you would actually ever see this. I mean, there were like examples in the First World War where like sentries and like certain people, they did experiment with like body armor and stuff. Probably not to this scale, to the point where it was mostly like sentries and like people that were on guard like in the actual trenches. That would be like if you're like sticking your head like over the trench, that you would see like like ricochet bullets when it hit you, or if like stuff was like bouncing off in front of you, you would like less likely to be injured. But like in like frontal combat like this, this would not have been. This is more like Halo, like Spartan sort of like stuff. Either way, again, it's like one of those things where you have to compromise some stuff for like the gameplay like fun. Again, it would not be like super fun if you're playing like a World War I game where you're like literally like sticking your head out of the trench like every 30 minutes, and then like at the end of the game or end of the mission, you're like going on like you're going over the top and then you're dead, because that's pretty much what a majority of like the First World War was. So flamethrower units are like the weird. I guess they're like the power units in the game. They're like the medium like. Oh, yeah. So you're like invincible at this point, or like you have like you're doing this like frontal assault and this like power armor stuff with like a machine gun, a German machine gun, I may add, against the Austro-Hungarians. I don't know if the Austro-Hungarians actually had flamethrower units, or like, I guess individuals with flamethrowers, but I know the Germans certainly did. I don't think the Allies ever used them in like combat situations. They probably like experimented with them, but I could be totally wrong about that. I don't know what my objective is right now. I guess it's to get to like the church, but like I am seriously low on health right now, so I don't know if I'm gonna. Okay, let's go to my sidearm, which is like another one of these like weird experimental like concoctions. So this is like none of these weapons are real. Like, okay, a Carcano, like a Gewehr 95. This is like a Carcano, which you definitely would have seen on the Italian front in multiple places, like pretty much everywhere. Though the Carcano, there's so many different types of Carcanos, like carbines, cavalry carbines, infantry artillery carbines. They made them like different models, like 1885, 1890. So many different kinds of Carcanos. I mean, they used them up until World War II. So like that was like Italy's like main rifle for like 60, 70 years, at least like variants of it. So we have this like this German machine gun here, and then there's like a Gewehr 95. Oh, another flamethrower dude. Basically, I'm gonna play until I die just to see what happens. Oh, I guess this is the. Oh, and I'm dead. I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but anyway, that's kind of like this like Italian front, like power armored sort of thing. Do I go back? Okay. So anyway, oh yeah, you're back to the beginning. Okay, cool. Well, that was just kind of a quick look at this this like front this like Italian special forces sort of front like combat. Like the scenery is obviously like beautiful in this game, you know. 2015, 2016, couldn't remember when this game was manufactured, but like the physical environment, the natural environment's like very, very nice. And they did like a really good job at that, at creating that sort of environment for the player. Obviously, like the buildings and everything, but you know, the power armor and like the weapons, pretty much most of that is like taken from like experimental designs or like concept designs that people probably thought of and like put in like very, very limited use. And like most of like types of weapons like this were eventually used in the Second World War. Submachine guns, obviously MP40s. The MP18 was an actual like submachine gun used by the Germans in the First World War, the very late part of the First World War, and from there just evolved into the MP40, MP44. But you would not have seen it like just used by like general like infantry units. Would have been used by like very selective like stormtroopers, and certainly like a lot of those experimental weapons would not have ended up on the Italian Austro-Hungarian front. They would have most of like experimental weapons in the First World War were like, okay, like can we put a detachable magazine on a bolt-action rifle? Can we put like 20-round magazine on a detachable magazine on a bolt-action rifle? And that's pretty much like as ingenuitive as it gets, other than like Gallipoli, where they put like when they were retreating, they put like you know, like dropping water bags on the #1 Enfields to you know, shoot without anyone actually being there, so they could get away in the boats. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this until I die. But yeah, that's Battlefield 1 in a nutshell. Like I said, it's a typical Call of Duty Battlefield 1 first-person shooter that takes place in a World War I Great War setting. So cool. This is like the Master Chief dying moment for your character. But anyway, I'll leave you guys there. Take it easy.